Chris.
Senator Van Hollen.
Thank you, Sheldon. Thank you, Senator Schumer, for bringing us together here. If one of us in this room or any American got up this morning and said, we're not going to make our mortgage payments, or we're not going to make a car payment, or we're not going to make any of our debts that are due and owing, that family knows there will be consequences. Someone can foreclose on their house. Someone can repossess their car. That is bad damage to the family, and it's limited to the family. If the United States of America says we're not going to pay our bills on time, very bad consequences are imposed on every single American. And Senator Schumer has just provided a list of what happens to American families if we don't pay our debts on time. That's why America has always paid its debts on time, as Senator Whitehouse pointed, because protecting the full faith and credit of the United States is protecting the American people. And it's right here in the Constitution. In addition to the terrible fallout that would happen, our framers recognized how important it was for the United States to maintain that full faith and credit. You've got it right here, 14th Amendment. The validity of the public debt of the United States authorized by law shall not be questioned. So when the MAGA Republicans in the House say that they're not going to pay our bills on time or threatening not to pay our bills on time, they're essentially threatening terrible economic consequences for every American family, and they're violating their duty under the Constitution of the United States. What the Constitution of the United States says is this debt is not a Republican debt. It's not a Democratic debt. It's debt of the country. This is debt owed by Uncle Sam. This is why we all have a duty to come together and pay it. And what MAGA Republicans are saying, that we don't want to do our duty. We are taking the position that in order for us to do our duty, you have to make all these terrible cuts, and they won't even tell us what they are, in order to get us to do the right thing. That's not the way the process works. As Senator Sheldon pointed out, we would not even be here at this particular point in time but for the $2 trillion Trump tax cut that disproportionately benefited the very wealthy and the biggest corporations. 1/4 of the national debt that's accumulated was during the Trump administration, 4 years. This is why Republicans voted 3 times when President Trump was in office with Democrats to raise the debt ceiling. And now when President Biden's in the White House, they simply want to use it as a political club. Look, we've been here before. Back in 2011, Republicans won a majority in the House, and they immediately went about the business of threatening the debt ceiling. Then Vice President Biden was assigned to bring together a group to negotiate. I was part of that group, bicameral, bipartisan. What we learned then is what we know now. Republicans don't care about the deficit or debt. They say that's what they care about. But if they really did, why would they pass a $2 trillion tax cut that's not paid for? Why would one of the first actions out of the House of Representatives be to block funds the IRS needs to go after very wealthy tax cheats, to collect taxes from very wealthy people who already owe that money? Because by denying the IRS that capability, by allowing those wealthy tax cheats off the hook, according to the nonpartisan CBO, they're increasing the deficit and debt by well over $100 billion. So they don't care about that. What they want to do is slash important investments, the American people, and they want to do it behind closed doors. They want to get behind closed doors, as they did back in 2011, and they don't want the American people to know what they want to do. I'll close with this. There's a process for dealing with the budget. We're more than happy to talk about and negotiate the budget. Sheldon Whitehouse is chairing the budget committee. There's a budget resolution process. House Republicans should pass a budget resolution, tell the American people what's in their budget instead of hiding the ball and wanting to go behind closed doors. And they certainly should not be threatening the full faith and credit of the United States, which would devastate American families. I'm now going to turn it over